How's it going, everyone? I got a weird one here. Working on a Ford Ranger. Now this is the one, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks back, that had the dirt-dopper nest and the throttle body and the thing smoked out the whole road. Same one, and the customer's complaint was the heat's always on. Okay. So I start checking it out, and he was indeed right. It was always had heat. You could never shut the heat off no matter what you did. So I come to find it runs off a vacuum, and it also has electric actuators too. So what I did find was that it didn't have adequate vacuum, and for some reason the manifold or the bulkhead connector that goes through the firewall actually was restricted, like as if it had slightly melted or something. I don't know. So what I did was I took it apart and I actually ran a tiny drill bit through it to kind of clean out the little passageways that were inside of it. So with doing that, I got it partially working. So down here, you can see the blower motor on the inside there. See it spinning. And that door that's right there, that is for recirc. So right now it's open, and the actuator is actually pulling it down so the door is open. It's on recirc. And right now I have cold air. Up there, you kind of see that bulkhead connector where I had taken it apart, I cleaned it, everything else, and it turns out, if you look really close, you'll see there's one of those tubes. They're actually hard plastic tubes, but one of them, the one that's really dark black, that one is actually rubber now. Basically, there were little tiny pinholes in it. It just deteriorated over time. That one goes to the heater control valve. And what happened was it was never shutting off the heater control valve. That heater control valve, strangely enough, only turns off when you're on max AC. Otherwise, it's always on. I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but okay. So, anyway, right now, being in recirc mode, I actually have cool air. Right there. Oops. Back. I have cool air coming through. It's actually pretty cold in here. And like I said, the heater control valve is actually turned off. Now, as soon as I put this thing to AC, that closes up. But now, I got heat. So I'm like, what the hell's going on with this thing? So I can never actually choose between cold and hot. So now when I pull the glove box down, I happen to see this wire hanging here, and I didn't think too much of it. A lot of times you see extra pigtails. This is kind of a base vehicle. It's a 4-cylinder, 5-speed. Well, it's got an electric motor for the blend door. Here's a replacement. Notice a connector? Notice a connector? That's where the blend door motor is supposed to go. There's nothing there. It doesn't exist. Somebody took it out and left it out. So kind of odd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this new one in place and just see if it works. I'm actually going to plug it in first to see if it works. What happens is there's gears in here, and this piece, this male, fits into a female, which is the actual door. So it'll insert and actually make the door open or close as this rotates. It'll only rotate, from let's just say from 0 to about 90 degrees. That's all it's going to go, maybe 120. So let's go ahead and let's get that installed. All right, so I got it plugged in, and right now I have the temperature set to full hot because that's the position the door's got to be in. And if you look close, now I'm going to turn that to cold, full cold. There you see it rotating. That's where it's supposed to be. So that's max cold. I'm going back. That's max hot. You can see it doesn't turn all that much, maybe 90 degrees. So now I'm going to try to get this thing installed, and I also got to see what actually is supposed to hold this in place. Because sometimes it just clips down and snaps in place. Sometimes there's actually screws that'll go through these little towers here. But let's go ahead and find out. Alright, so now I got it up in place, and I'm going to put this thing, I got hot air coming through, so now I'm going to put this thing to cold. See if it actually changes. Obviously you can't see this. There's really nothing to actually see. But I want to see if it actually temperature changes, because that'll tell me, you know, is the door broken? Is that why somebody took it apart? And I still got heat coming through, so I got a funny feeling we have a broken blend door. But we're gonna have to find out. We'll see what he wants to do. I'm gonna switch this off to there. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, and yep, I can put my hand up here and I can feel the backside of that motor and I can feel it's turning, but I still got hot air. So that tells me I got a broken blend door. Well, I got to see what they want to do. They probably didn't even know that blend door motor was missing. So I'm going to go from there and see what happens. If you guys get anything on my videos, you know, hit the like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's about it for today. You guys have a great day.